Hello. So this is not going to be an easy thing for me to do for a number of reasons. Main one being anxiety, but you know how that goes. What I'm actually going to do is start a bit of a vlog, I guess. It's going to be a new type of journey. I think it's about time I make a lot of changes in my life. One of which being my weight, which also comes from having PCOS, which I will get into that at another time. But for now, we are going to just spend some time doing my hair. You know, it's 8 o'clock at night and I'm gonna do my hair. So I guess I could start by telling you a little bit about myself, I suppose. My name is Bria. I am almost 32. Will be 32 in April. Born and raised in East Texas. Little bitty town. So small that most people don't know where it is. And that's okay. I like my small town life to an extent. Small town life is always fun. You can never really do anything without getting the attention of everyone in town and your family finding out in record-breaking time. I am currently going to school to get my bachelor's degree in education to be a teacher. I started going back to school in the fall of 2018 at the local junior college. I had no intentions of going back. I mean, I think I was 29 at the time, since it's been 2 years. And I had no intentions of going back. I mean, I had an inkling that I might want to go back, so I went to the community college to see about what I would need to do, because when I first got out of high school, I went to college, and in my opinion, at 18, most people aren't ready to make life decisions like that. But I was going to anyway, and I decided that I wanted to be a nurse, particularly in either labor and delivery or NICU. I'd had a little cousin that was born prematurely, and it just touched my heart the way those nurses were. And so I began my college career in the fall of 2007. Let's just say it did not go very well. I love to write. I love reading. I love everything about it. But I am the type of person that I hate writing papers in an English capacity, like research papers and essays and things like that. Like, I hate writing those because I don't like when people tell me how to write, what to write about, and then the whole MLA format and, you know, all of that. I loathe it. So I kind of stopped going to my English 2 class a lot, and so I failed, obviously. And then I was taking 2 online classes. I think one was medical terminology and something else that were to go to my nursing degree, and I forgot to check in on those classes. It was my first time doing online classes, and I also, at the end of February 2008, had a ATV accident, and was thrown from the ATV and broke my arm, both bones in my forearm. That scar there, I had a bone sticking out here, and then I have a scar on the inside of my arm, which is kind of hard to show. There we go. And I had 2 plates and 13 screws inserted into my arm in order to fuse the bones back together. And so it was in the middle of all of that, and I forgot to just check in with the classes and do my work for those. So all of that put together just did a real number on my GPA and had me on academic probation, which in turn screwed up my financial aid. So I couldn't afford college, honestly. And now you can see where I wear my watch all the time. And so I had to stop. I had to drop out of college. And you know, at the time it was devastating. I wanted to work in the medical field. I had always been fascinated with the, you know, and so instead I went and took a CNA course to obtain my nursing assistant certificate. And with that in mind, I was like, well, I can do this for a little while and save up some money, and then I could go back to college and go to nursing school. And 1 year turned into 2, and 2 turned into 5, and 5 turned into 10. And I was miserable. I enjoyed getting to spend time with the residents and the patients, and I enjoyed, you know, the people that I met and became friends with along the way. And I just enjoyed taking care of people. I'm that kind of person that will take care of someone, and I enjoyed that. The work was tedious, and you know, a lot of people don't have the heart or the stomach for it. I mean, honestly, I get it. Like, you're taking care of people, you're cleaning up after the ones that cannot clean up after themselves, you're feeding people. And honestly, like, the nursing field, and like when it comes to direct care of patients, like, the nursing field would not get by without CNAs, honestly. And I really enjoyed that. Like, I had a very good working relationship with a lot of the nurses that I worked with, and a lot of them would help when asked. And then on the flip side of that, there were a lot of nurses that would not. And to me, it's the nurses that come from being CNAs to going into nursing school. Those are the ones that are a little bit more in tune with what entails being a CNA. I mean, all nursing courses go through the part where in their clinicals they have to do hands-on patient care. They have to bathe them. They have to take them to the restroom. They have to do all of that, and that's just not enough, honestly, in my opinion. And it led to a lot of nurses thinking that they were better than that. And you know, I hate saying that, because especially in this year we're having, because I mean, honestly, nurses have gotten so, I mean, anybody in the health field this year has gotten so used and abused, because you know, they're trying to save everybody, and it's a difficult thing to do, and they're having to make a lot of sacrifices. But in the 10 years, I was burnt out. I was miserable. I hated my job. And as much as I love taking care of my residents and forming bonds with them, I was burnt out. And that's what led me back to the community college that day, was to see if, like, since it had been 10 years, if things had dropped off, you know, like financial aid wise or whatever, which of course it doesn't drop off like that. But, you know, I didn't know. I mean, I was young, dumb, and stupid then, and naive, and I'm still a little dumb and stupid and naive, but, you know, what can you do? But I left there, enrolled in college again, with no clue how I was going to pay for it. And I love my mom. She has helped me so much. My dad, he's helped in order to be able to go to college, because for the first few semesters while I was working on repairing my GPA, in order to become eligible for financial aid, we were having to pay everything out of the pocket, which is not easy when, I mean, yes, I was working in the nursing home and getting paid, but I wasn't getting paid that much, and it's hard to afford college without going into loans and all of that. And so far in the 2 years, I have been very lucky with the help of not only my mom, but several friends and people that I work for. I don't have like a physical job, but like I sit with for a friend, and you know, things like that. And like every spare change that I get, like I love to bake and decorate cookies, and so I do that, and then whatever money I get from that, when I sell some, then that goes to my college fund. And but anyway, I left there, enrolled in college, and when all of this hit, I kind of got a little out of it. Like, I was going every semester that was available, except for like the little winter semesters or the Maymesters, the little short semesters. Like, but I was going fall, spring, and both summer semesters, and so I was feeling a little bit burnout, and especially when this came around and it was difficult. And so when it came time to decide whether or not to re-enroll and continue, like I only had 4 or 5 classes left at the junior college before I would get my associate's degree. And I made the decision and was like, you know what? I've been here for almost 2 years, and there's no sense in funneling more money into the associate's degree when I can go to the university and just funnel money in there. I mean, and it costs more. It does. I mean, university costs more, but instead of just like pit stopping at an associate's, I can move forward and just keep going until I got my bachelor's. And honestly, I probably should have done that to begin with, because I don't want to say I wasted 2 years at the junior college, but I probably would be almost done in like 1 or 2 more semesters versus what I'm going to have to finish now. But I'm now enrolled and just finished my first semester at the university, and I was so glad for the break. And we'll be going back in January. You see my thin hair? That is PCOS, ladies and gentlemen, or polycystic ovary syndrome, ovarian syndrome. And honestly, it's a shit show. Can't speak today. It's been a long day. My grandma tested positive for COVID today. So there's that. Also about me, I was born in April. Look at this. This is pathetic. I hate it. I was born in April, late April. I'm a Taurus, though I do have Aries tendencies. I'm running out of things to say. So we're going to stop there, and I'm going to probably talk a little more about PCOS in the next video. I haven't quite decided where I'm going to upload these yet. So with that being said, as we are now 2 days before Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you have a great holiday, and I will see you soon.